I'm going to Platinum Crown my 100% save file in Kirby Star Allies by beating the DLC's heroes in another dimension where I must collect all 120 hearts. Then I must defeat the ultimate challenge on Soul Melter Extra difficulty. Highness's repeated chants of attempting to summon his Dark Lord have opened a rift in the fabric of space, leading to another dimension. This place seems to have an endless amount of space. Just how high can I go here?
I went skydiving.
In this universe, every level contains 30 friend hearts and rooms that grant you a preset ability before entering. In addition to the fighter ability, I gather an army of bombers to aid me. For the greater good? For the greater good. There's actually a lot of throwing in this. Anyways, these sections also include moments of playing as Dream Friends. The first being Bandana Waddle Dee. There are other opposing Waddle Dees. Is that going to be a problem, buddy?
You kill your own kind to win battles.
Some of the DLC is very unforgiving, like this room where I incorrectly directed the ball of Waddle Dees wrong. Shouldn't be a problem, right? I'll just re-enter. Wrong. After only one try, it's blocked off. Even if you attempt to kill yourself in hopes of resetting it upon respawning, the room is still inaccessible. Luckily, I was still in the early stages of the first dimension, so I exited and started over. With it open again, I could finally steer the ball in the right direction and attain 3 hearts from it. On to King Dedede. His area is filled with races against electricity, which you have to beat in time to save every heart. Unlike the previous operation, dying does in fact bring back the hearts. As much as I love the king, speed and mobility are not his strong suits.
You're a portly fellow.
Instead of swinging my hammer the old-fashioned way, changing to air attacks got the stumps pounded faster. Meta Knight, you're up. Similar to Dedede, Meta Knight has to race against the clock, except our winged friend is up against the floor rising. And unlike his highness, this wasn't bad thanks to Meta Knight's natural speed. In fact, Meta Knight is more of a king than Dedede. While his friends do the fighting, he's kicking back and enjoying this video's sponsor, Empires and Puzzles. It's a match 3 RPG in which you simply match shields of the same color to attack. Since the game is closing in on its 6-year anniversary, there's a buttload of content. First of which is the story, where you'll travel to faraway lands such as Atlantis, Valhalla, and even ancient Egypt. The game has over 400 collectible heroes available based around different elements, and every month unique heroes are introduced. After each of your victories, use your spoils to grow your empire by leveling up your food and iron production. Craft useful battle items, train your troops, or even summon more heroes. The list of features goes on, such as PvP leaderboards, joining alliances, raiding other alliances, or going head-to-head in battle with other players. And if that's not enough for you, there are continuous updates like the Season of Love event that features 5 new Cupid-inspired heroes and 20 stages with 3 difficulty modes. Players can test their skills and earn rewards as they complete stages and progress through the event. So go download Empires and Puzzles now with my link below. Thank you, Empires and Puzzles, for sponsoring this video. Kirby reappears for a bit to solve some infrastructure problems to allow safe crossing for a key-holding Waddle Dee. And then it's off to our first boss battle, where in the room leading up to it, I can call upon the staff to summon Dream Friends and pick my favorite copy ability, the Beetle. The battle begins versus a variant of Wispy Woods, Parallel Woods. Attack! This oversized plant wasn't ready for my twirls.
Oh, hello, Dwight.
Spin move.
Okay, he was successful in sucking me up that one time, but look at that pathetic damage from that. I have nothing to fear. I wish I could say the same for my comrades as I watch Adeline go down. Like seriously, the boss drops all of his weight on her and she's gone forever. Parallel Woods is bested, but I missed 2 hearts along the way. What's worse is that you can't revisit the stage until you clear your first playthrough. Guess I'll come back later. Rick, Kind, and Koo? It's time. Originally, I thought I was going to talk about what makes these critters unique and how Kind likes to outswim his allies, leaving them to die. But today I learned you can bounce on magic. What sort of witchery is this? The pattern of violence continues with Marks, who also likes to leave his pals hanging out to die. Oops, missed the pet rock. Let me fix that. Gooey? What can you even do? Rock powers? Okay. An umbrella? I guess that's all right. Can turn into fire and can friend throw? This thing is just Kirby but better. You know what else is better? There's actually a level of difficulty already at this point, especially when compared to the main story. Without the capability to stop, some of the jumps actually have some tricky timing in order to land them right. With the locomotive course finished, Parallel Twin Krako hovered before us. As you can plainly see, contrary to their original form, the Krakos start off the match with 2 of them rather rather than one. I nabbed the Indiana Jones whip with a dose of electricity, which proved to be very effective versus the clouds, even when they soared high, letting down the rain, because I could just strike at the water, sending up sparks right at them. This method didn't quite translate as well as I was hoping for when the puffers combined into one big Kracko. My lack of range mixed with trying to survive the storm of thunder overwhelmed me. I was actually struggling and needed a new plan. There weren't a ton of options, so I went with what I thought was the next best thing, the beam. Yes, I know as far as length goes, it's identical to the whip, but the fact that it can attack diagonally in a sense made all the difference. During the thunderclouds, my sole goal was to simply survive. Then I was back at it in the final phase. Portal 2 down, third one, here we come. I've used physical strength up to this point, but now I need to use my mind. Now to get artsy-fartsy with Adeline. Wait a minute, haven't we met before? I don't recall. Anyways, our artist is tasked with removing blocks to match a shape from the previous room. There was a problem when I got to the whale. You see, you need to activate its spout by sending a shock of electricity through this outlet. Shockingly, no one is an electrician here. What? No! That didn't work? I had to restart the level just to find out that I wasted my time because Magalore just so happened to show me now of all times to do it that he can cast a zap spell. Oh, Magalore, I'll get my revenge on you in Kirby's Return to Dreamland. By the way, this tale was such a pain to get right that I turned to the ways of darkness as Dark Meta Knight. There's actually another villain in disguise here. See that burning Leo right there? That's actually Ganondorf. See how he throws an attack at me expecting to smack it right back? Seems a little sus to me. And how come Meta Knight isn't dense enough to run past this wind? But this buffoon of a Waddle Dee can? Ah, rats. My time with Dark Meta Knight is already done. I don't know much about DeRoach. However, I got my chance to learn more about his Squeak Squad, like Storo, who's the muscle, Doc, who's got the brains, and Spinny to crawl into tight spaces.
So you hunted down Masher with a suit and tie.
Oh, so we're voice acting now? Honestly, this parallel boss fight felt the least different compared to its original form. Also, since I knew what to expect, I thought it was easier than the two before it. The purple shadow balls were new, however, those didn't feel like much of a threat. So before you know it, Meta Knight only has a sliver of health left, but for some reason, none of my allies will finish him off, and I lost my copy ability. Someone do something!
Thank you!
Then only one dimension remained, and I start with probably the most OP dream friend of all, Magalore. Just look at the size of his Ultra Sword and how it one-shots everything. The best thing is, it's really simple to pull off. Down, up, then attack. Down, up, then attack. Down, up, attack. He's also the type to leave his friends in the dust because his air mobility is so fast. He's even got his own signature friend throw, the Magalorian launch. Taranza's pretty stellar too. He can craft his own web to bounce off of, reaching new heights. Sometimes it's your only method to traverse further. Though being a spider, those thwomp-like blocks can squish you. On to something more sturdy, Susie the robot. Oh yeah, frost me up, Chili. She even has a sick mech suit, making her as dangerous as the Terminator. It can't fly, though.
I'll be back.
However, with the help of some wind, she can fly copter style using the mech arms. Only one gimmick left before leaving this place, that being the friend star. Here's the crazy thing. I blew through this section, but I finished without 5 of this stage's 30 hearts. Later, I learned that I passed all 5 of them during that flight route, so we'll be visiting there again in the future. For now, let's finish this thing off by dethroning Parallel King DDD. I find it interesting that he's the last of the bunch, while in the main game, he's one of the first bosses. The king must have been given a massive defense boost, because his HP seems to be decreasing at the slowest rate yet. Trying to revive my partners cost me greatly, as I headed into the next phase with a blinking health bar. Then soon after, died. I changed into the big bad Beetleborg, so I could friend throw, which kept me at a safe distance too. With swift flight maneuvers, I could keep high, then descend whenever I found an opening. I repeated my tactics during the next part, but almost lost my ability while the king jumped around. With no pillars, King DDD could bounce wall to wall like a Tarzanian maniac. I played it extra careful towards the end, camping near the ceiling while the others attacked, and I would only come down to resurrect them if needed. That was quite the challenge. Just when I thought things were over, one last portal appeared, leading us to the final battle. We confront the Jamba Heart, break it, and find Highness inside, a corrupted Highness. Since his hooded form doesn't go down within a few seconds like it did at the end of the main story, I actually get to see what this guy is capable of. This is still nothing compared to his next phase, as the moves are pretty predictable, some less so than others. Anyhow, the real deal is when Corrupted Highness goes crazy. So crazy, in fact, that since his generals are not around, he replaces them with wood. Then he starts swinging the wood around. Realizing that's not the best fighting strategy, he goes back to his hooded tactics, this time casting multiple elements at once. Unfortunately, this is also when I lost my staff ability, which Magalore got rid of with his black hole. I'm taking a lot more damage now, putting my skin on the line to spit out these stars. Thankfully, Kawasaki served up some food, which the boys shared with me mouth to mouth. Spinning wheel attack and hiding with the occasional throw of shadow balls. We've seen this before, so let's wrap it up, guys. Lord Highness. The eldest mage sister heard Highness was sucked into the void, but is angered even more knowing we knocked him out cold. The other two sisters arrive, and together they all agree to exact revenge on Kirby. A showdown ensues with all three of them at the same time. Initially, I was worried about this battle because I had no ability equipped, but then I realized that whenever I spit out a star shot, it was practically guaranteed to land since there were three of them floating all over the screen. Things were going smoothly until I got sucked into this combo.
So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
Well, a stupid mistake like that, of course, cost me the fight. There's no better way to describe this match other than the word chaotic, or anything resembling the same meaning to that. And yes, I made sure to get out of the way to not be pulled into a laser-to-laser mix again. The sisters continue to clutter the battlefield with all their array of assortments, corresponding to each of their respective elements. But then something strange happened. Towards the end, two of the girls would take a break at the same time. Okay, I call that throwing 101, and I'll take that win. My heart count totals to 113 collected, which results in an S rank, but you all know I gotta go back to gather the others. Before doing so, Kirby uses the 113 hearts to form a larger one, lobs it at the mage sisters, and now they have to be our friends whether they like it or not. We fly off, leaving one last heart behind, reviving Highness. Kirby is seen by many as some sort of frightening, omnipotent god inside a pink ball of cuteness, yet he still has the kindness to give his enemies another chance at life. We're not done yet though. I still need to find those missing hearts, then take on one more mode. In the first dimension, I found its two remaining hearts quickly. Then in the fourth area, I obliterated the falling asteroids faster, which resulted in discovering another 3 hearts. After going through the stage a few more times, I just knew the rest were here in the Warp Star section. I finally figured out that there was a passageway underneath the exit door. What awaited on the other side was an outrageous amount of Waddle Dee stuck together like a popcorn ball. With all 120 hearts in my possession, I beat Highness and the Mage Sisters again, which earned me a perfect S rank, completing heroes in another dimension. One last challenge remained, one that on a lower difficulty took me hours to conquer in my 100% playthrough. That was Soul Melter. We'll say hello to Soul Melter Extra. I'll be real with you though, it really wasn't that bad. What do you mean, Andrew? I saw you struggle with it in the last video. That's because I didn't have the last Stream Friend slot unlocked yet. The 3 Mage Sisters. They are what us gamers like to call OP. They have a lot of different attacks in their moveset, but all you really need is one of them. Input, down, up, then attack. When doing this as the Fire or Electric Sister, you fire off a powerful blast with range that reaches across the entire screen, dealing a good chunk of damage. There's no limit too, which means you can spam it over and over again. Sometimes as the zappy one, I use Drum Waste, which you can activate by pressing down, forward, then rapidly mash attack. This would spout lightning balls in a diagonally downward fall when I chose to position myself at the corner of a boss. 90% of the time though, I'm doing this. Before you know it, I'm facing the true destroyer of worlds on my first try with a full bar of health. Sure, I wasn't perfect at dodging everything. The second phase was as easy as it was before, and I'd received more damage from the third phase. It was the finale that gave me a run for my money. I needed healing, but those Kawasaki chefs would never seem to cook up a meal when I needed it most. Therefore, I tagged one of them out to add Adeline to the team. Already back to the finale, I found myself in the same position, starving for some HP. This time with Adeline, when the boss took a break from attacking, I would hold up with my joystick next to her, prompting Adeline to paint up an assortment of foods which heals the squad and I. Later, Kawasaki cooked up multiple entrees himself, putting me in a very healthy position to finish this off once and for all. Only on my second attempt too. The ultimate choice has been truly completed this time, and my 100% save file has been given the platinum crown. One last reward, Kirby in his debut form. If you enjoy my videos, please consider supporting me on Patreon. I'm really trying to diversify my income to not solely rely on YouTube ad revenue. Plus, if you sign up for the $5 tier on Patreon as a YouTube member or Twitch sub, your name will be listed in the credits. You all have a good one. Thanks.